Yes, good old TJ.
Konnichiwa, News Garage Boy Gag, back with another reaction video. And today, you guys, we are back on VINIITUBE's channel. This one is called the Top 10 Most Impactful Anime Fights of This Decade, Volume 2. So, yeah, we all know decade. We already know how much it equals. That's 10 years for a decade. So, so for this past 10 years, from 2010 to 2020, we get to see what you got Volume 2 for the most impactful anime fights. So you got, like I say, guys, VINIITUBE channel, the be first link is sure about down below. Go ahead and go and follow his page. Go ahead and go look at some of his other videos. He has like a bunch of nice top 10s, great top 10s on his channel. So leave me comments down below too. Out of all the fights, like we can talk about, have a discussion in the comments down below. But also while we down there too, just let me know what was your favorite fight from this list. What would you actually put as your #1 fight of the decade from anime? Like all from this whole decade, what would be your favorite anime fight from this decade? Let me know. I know it's like a lot from like different anime stuff I haven't even seen yet myself, and like just just stuff that might be on this list. So you just might not never know. We gotta see them. So without further ado, guys, before you get to it, like, subscribe on the video. Liking the video helps the channel grow a lot. Subscribe if you knew we came from the recommended. Subscribe channel if you knew we make daily content over here. What you call it? Hit the bell notification. Make sure you click all so you know it's not notified to make a future upload. All right, guys. All right, Neo Squad. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So play.
I heard you like
That's for my
10
Alchemist
fight videos.
Brotherhood.
Well, don't worry, I got you covered, okay? 10's not a good number to stop at when we talk about the best anime fights of the decade, so here's
Definitely
a
not.
Christmas present for you. Shortly after the first video, I decided to make a list of 10 more anime fights to look out for when reliving the best of anime this past decade. Yes, our Decade in Rewind series continues with a second set of anime fights. Let's get the ball rolling.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. From Alchemist. That was crazy.
An amazing anime like FMA Brotherhood deserves to close. We have the final battle against Father. After absorbing souls and basically becoming God, Father finds himself face to face with
Father
everyone.
just went
The military,
stupid.
The rebels, Mustang, what's left of him anyway, and the Elrics. After everyone's bombardment and some timely assistance from Greed, Father's finally worn out and taken down in a sweet beatdown by Ed. The battle's great for me because in addition to the spectacle of Ed's no-holds-barred beatdown, it showed two fundamental parts of the series themes, one which is the strength of unity. Despite being strong fighters in their own right, none of them could stand a chance of taking down a being that transcends all limits. Nevertheless, it's everyone working together that shows how much people can accomplish if they work together. It's also good to note the thematic irony that despite being so powerful, Father did himself in. He opened himself up to defeat by focusing on preserving and increasing power. Just like the Elrics, Father fell due to pride and his attempt at going against taboo.
Yep. Mostly probably gonna be like the ending of the anime itself, because the ending fight be like the best fights.
Characters, and the
I've never seen this anime.
fight between Alucard and Anderson is its version of the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. After a long wait, Anderson decides it's time to finally finish the vampire in London. Alucard quickly takes command of the fight, overwhelming his rival with familiars before the latter gets saved and unveils his secret weapon, Helena's Nail. Anderson's transformation into a monster puts him on par with the vampire. Ceras's intervention then provides Alucard a second wind, allowing him to finally finish off his transformed rival. The fight delivered for what is the final battle between the two rivals that hold great respect for one another. In the end,
He got
Alucard
ripped to
proved
shreds.
too
Oh
much for
my
Anderson to handle.
goodness.
I mean, he has a commanding lead and would have eventually won before the run-in started happening one after another.
When that son gonna kill him though, because he's Dracula? I don't know. Ooh!
Now for the first fight on the list that doesn't involve the main protagonist of the series. A highlight of Ippo's third season is the battle between Takamura and David Eagle. Pitting the wild and aggressive style of Takamura against the calm and textbook moves of the American gold medalist makes for a suspenseful and intriguing match. While most boxers have gimmicky fighting styles, David Eagle has a simple arsenal. He doesn't have much in the way of finishing moves, but it's foolish to underestimate
Straight to
him.
the
While
point with
all
it.
those flashy moves may mean that he has no particular strengths, it also means that you really just have to be better better than Eagle in order to beat him. With his fighting strategy being so grounded, there's really no major weakness to exploit either. Takamura sure learned that the hard way. After a grueling match that featured his eye problems, he beat the American in the boxing ring, but sure had to go through hell to win. What makes this fight so impactful is the ending. Seeing him punch non-stop for 10 seconds through sheer willpower is just so emotional and epic at the same time.
Wow, that's off of just sheer will. Whoa. That's crazy. Wow. Psychopaths.
His 16th episode gave us a gift to remember. A battle between the two most charismatic characters. I remember the fight having tons of hype the first time around because we've yet to know the full extent of Makishima's fighting abilities and whether he could beat Kogami. What makes this fight special is how realistic it is. Good old hand-to-hand combat's great. And another thing to note is how Makishima and Kogami fought represented their personalities. In essence,
I thought even to break
the
it.
battle between a graceful style and a rough, aggressive style. Although I won't blame you if you didn't notice it the first time around because you were so absorbed with the spectacle. The choreography is just amazing, and if you want to find a fight that can convince you to give Psycho Pass a shot, perhaps this is the one.
I ain't never watched the anime before.
Next, we take a look at Oda vs. Gide. This arc's one of the reasons why I love Bungo Stray Dogs so much, and what a way to finish it with the awesome short but sweet battle. What better way to fight a villain than with powers that are similar? Now let me up the ante and say that both fighters have future sight as their powers. A fast and furious gunfight follows. Gifted by the ability to peer seconds into the future and predict each other's movements, the two fighters exchange shots, seemingly being unable to hit each other due to the future sight. When people jokingly compare this short fight as a battle between two Sharingan users or two King Crimsons, I guess it's not too far off the mark. If you're up for a fight with blazingly quick action and a sequence of events, then this fight
It definitely sounds some
in a battle
Sharingan stuff.
between two users of precognition, the first hit usually decides the victor. Who would come out on top?
Oh yeah, I seen this. My Psycho. Yeah, this was crazy.
Among the numerous fights in Mob Psycho, I'd say that Mob vs. Mogami should be a contender for the best ones in the decade. Simply put, the battle between the two takes place in figuratively multiple dimensions. It's more of a psychological battle taking place initially inside Minori. Mob initially proves to be the superior fighter, overwhelming Mogami before falling into the latter's trap and being forced into enduring mental torment. It takes Dimple's intervention to snap Mob out of it and defeat Mogami. Notably, the fight's marked by the release of Mob's percentage mode, one of his most amazing forms and power-ups. Despite being weaker physically, Mogami showed what he's really capable of in this battle, and along with Mob Psycho's renowned animation, showed us a beautiful example of a mental battle in a shonen series done right.
Yeah, that was lit. That was super lit. Oh yeah, we gotta have Shiro versus Emiya. We gotta have Archer versus Shiro. Got to.
But you should probably ask Emiya Shiro about that. After all, his great
Oh man, this fight was lovely,
in
man.
my opinion, isn't even the king of heroes. It's his future self, fed up with the world he fought to protect and turning into a cynic. The battle between Shiro and Archer is not the most spectacular in Unlimited Blade Works, but it's arguably the most meaningful and climactic one, especially for our protagonist. Shiro literally stands no chance against Archer in straight-up combat. However, this battle isn't about strength. There's really only one
about ideals.
either of them, breaking down the other's ideals and
Yep,
making them accept
ideals.
in life are wrong. In this battle of willpower, it's Shiro who comes out on top. Even though Archer has the fight won by all means, he hesitates after being faced with the harsh reality of seeing his past ideal self. Episode 5 of Part 2 of Attack on Titan's third season features a triple header of the most awaited fights in the series' history. After their initial introductions as beings of destruction and the reveal of their identities, it's finally time to take down the Beast, the Armored, and Colossal Titans. We covered Levi taking on the Beast Titan and Erwin and his squad sacrifice in another video before, so this time I'm focusing on the remaining fights. With those characters out of the way, it's Eren and Armin left in charge to take care of the Colossal Titan. Since the start of the series, I knew this battle was going to happen, but what surprised me was that it was Armin's brilliant plan that decides the battle, but not without a steep cost. Meanwhile, the rest of the group go up against the Armored Titan, whom they decide to defeat outright. Despite their struggles, they finally get breathing room as Hanji opens up the door to their counterattack with Thunder Spears. Badass Mikasa finishes off the Armored Titan, ending the last among the three Titans' reign of terror for good. The fights are amazing and give everyone their shine. Finally, after 3 long seasons, humanity finally vanquishes the most prominent monsters among the Titans. Were all the sacrifices worth it? That's debatable, but at least we got a series of battles
that's debatable.
grouped together as the series' grand finale out of it.
Oh, Kakashi versus Obito? This was... I like the meaning behind this, though. I will say that.
Ninja War gave us many notable and hype moments. While we can talk about Madara's domination, Minato saving the day, Team 7's last battle, or Naruto and Sasuke's fated showdown, I'd like to feature another battle that deserves praise and a mention. Ever since the flashbacks to Kakashi's past and the introduction of Obito, I had an inkling that the Uchiha's probably still alive somewhere. When he's relieved to be Toby, it's only natural that he and his former childhood friend gravitate towards each other and settle things once and for all. This fight easily had the best hand-to-hand combat action we've seen in Naruto up to this point. The fight itself isn't only backed by hype brought about by history, but by how well their powers synergize with one another. Their battle inside Kamui's dimension is all sorts of intense and pits the best of the best in terms of their similar eye powers. The fight might have been overshadowed by Obito's quick transformation, but don't let that distract you from the fact that before he becomes the master of the 10 Tails, Obito had one hell of a fight against his former friend.
That was so fly, man. How they went in between the kid cells and then now their current cells and fights.
That just about wraps it up. I wonder which fight.
Yeah, that we gonna end off right there. Top 10 most impactful anime fights of this decade, Volume 2. Like I say, man, that's pretty good. Like I say, because like just thinking about it, it's like seeing that I've seen a couple of these fights and like some other fights that I haven't even seen. Like most of the fights, I'll say like 80% of the fights on this list or 70% of the fights on this list I have never seen because I've never seen the anime. But I know about Attack on Titan. I know about Naruto, obviously. I know about Unlimited Blade Works, and just seeing that, because it's funny because me watching Unlimited Blade Works all the way through like that, and just knowing and what fights I've seen, everything like from the Fate series on that, seeing Shiryu versus Archer, I just knew that fight was so impactful and so crazy. The fact of like what it was, like the ideals, like it was basically not even a battle of, well, I guess you say battle was, it wasn't a battle just of strength, it was a battle of ideals of two individuals of two different like spectrums of their life. It's crazy. And then seeing Obito versus Kakashi, that was great too. I like that fight was really crazy. Like he said, he could have picked Naruto versus Sasuke again, they final showdown. You could have picked Team 7 versus Kaguya. You could have picked a lot of battles from the Naruto Shippuden series over this decade. But the fact that how Kakashi Obito went and like just what it was from like their childhood to now, and like just how their ability just kind of like was off feature like that was crazy. But like I say, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think should have been #1 for this list? Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree with this list? Let me know in the comments down below. Sub, like the video and stuff like that. Like I say, #1, I have no complaints. Like I say, I watched Naruto. Naruto is my #2 favorite anime of all time. Seeing that, it's pretty cool. And seeing Limited Blade Works at #3 is pretty cool as well. So like I say, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys like I say? Let me know what you guys think of this list. What would you change the list if you was to change anything on this list? Oh yeah, Mob Psycho, that's another one too. Mob Psycho, I've seen the anime as well, so I seen that fight too. That was pretty cool. But like I said, guys, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to news about hit the notification bell, click all so you know what time I make a future upload. It's boy INCOG, Neil Squad. I'm out. Peace.